First of all, these guys are the key to it ever being a Rocafella Records. You wouldn't have even known or heard of Rocafella Records if it wasn't for this unit right here. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for Original Flavor, you can forget it. Original Flavor was managed by Dame and I think his brother. They both was managing Original Flavor, and they was real cool and tight with T Strong and Ski. So, that was the unit right there. So the beginning of Rocafella Records was definitely Original Flavor. Now, Original Flavor did his thing like back in what was that, early 90s, like 92, and Dame was all, they was all boys, but the Rockefeller sound comes from the Rockefeller sound comes from let me see, Ski. I would give more credit to Ski than anything to help find that Rockefeller sound. The old funk 70s, 80s joints. I think Ski was like real key for that. And he had Jay-Z. They had Jay-Z on the Beyond Flavor album. He was on that Can I Get Open. Jay was ghostwriting too, like a mug. You could hear Jay flowing a lot of this, a lot of these raps. I was like, oh yeah, Jay wrote that. Had to. So it is what it is. It's just when you see it happen live, you go, wow. Like that's crazy how it all started. Cause he learned from their failures. He saw what happened at Atlantic, and they got that money, and they ran through it, and did what they did with the money, and screwed it all up. Basically, and Atlantic didn't do what they was supposed to do. Like actually, like putting out stuff for them, and doing what they supposed to do with support. And they kind of felt like the support wasn't there, and since the support wasn't there from Atlantic, it just didn't make sense to them to pursue going through Atlantic to get a deal. Because they were trying to get a deal, just a regular label deal, and people just wasn't into Jay as a solo artist. People was mostly signing groups, and at that time when you sign groups, that's why you don't see too many groups signed right now. The group rap is almost over. And the reason why is because groups know that you can't split all that money. It's only so many people that can eat off the group. So what the labels do is they slip themselves on in, hey, and start pitching and poaching away, at what's left. Like, some meat there. Start poaching away at the meat. And they go and get individual deals for the artists and cause dissension so they can break up, and they could split them up and have them put out solo projects. And meanwhile, the one label is eating off all of it. They getting paid regardless. So, it always happens. So Jay actually coming up through Original Flavor and the Hawaiian Sophie song. I mean, shoot. They first album was This Is How It Is album is nothing but Hawaiian Sophie. So Original Flavors to me, they were dope. Then one of the dudes sound like Drez though. The lead rapper, I don't know who's that. T Strong. He was kind of sounding like what's his name? Dreads from Black Sheep. But sounding like dreads and being dreads is two different things. So that's that, man. So the Rocafella thing got started straight through original flavor. Understand that. So Christian, I think they were the first artists. Christian was the first artist, and then Jay got signed, and then of course Full Smoke. Watching my life go down, 'cause I'm a hustler. Watching my life go down. Watching my life go down, 'cause I'm a hustler. Unfortunately for Christian, that was the only hit song they had. 'Cause I full smoke. So they had all the buzz more than Jay. Because that was an underground hit. Every Jamaican and smoked out spot, they played that song. I remember Jam Master Jay, or that DJ Chubby Chub got pressed by Jay from Hollis, from Run DMC, over stealing some type. It was some DJ ish, but Jam Master Jay wasn't having it, man. That's when they realized Jay was he was something extra. So man, I'm just sitting here thinking back in the days. Man, it's the early 90s, 94, 93. I do used to get they tapes made, run them by Slick Ricky and Live the Instigator. That's what he's called, Ant Live the Instigator. He was still instigating and running people tapes. The original flavor was on a mixtape, had that flowing out. But dang, man, that's when they was working, man. They was trying their hardest to come out. I admire the grind. I admire that hustle. But that's how Jay and them got started, man, with original flavor. Dame saw his brother and them basically fizzing out, and then they all went their separate way in like '94. And Dame was like, you know what? I'm gonna come out with my own label. And Clark Kent was his guy, DJ Clark Kent. So they messed with Clint Kent hard, So it was like, look, I'm gonna come out with my own label. Dame was always thinking hustling, dope dealing, all that. That's small time. No matter how much, no matter how much money is in rap, I mean, the dope game, it's a small time hustle. Dame realized that early on. It's like, look, dude, that's a small time hustle. For me to even think about, let me go sell some dope. That's too small for me. Like that's just don't that's doesn't equivalate to where he wants to go as a person, as a human being. his mind is so far into, we could take this hip hop, get our own label. We don't need the majors. We make the artists, we sign our own artists, make them big. They don't come to us. And they did. And the distribution deal was smart. So they turned down $1 million deal offer. They were like, we'll give you $1 million to partner with your label. And that didn't work. So they turned down the $1 million deal. And they almost messed up the deal because they were bragging on the fact they turned down the $1 million, but then they end up taking $1 million, but they get to re-up after so many albums, and the re-up price they can go in to renegotiate, but they didn't have it in the term sheets. What they should have did, it was like anything above a miracle, which was, volume two, doing what it was doing, they can go into a renegotiation. But they didn't have that in their contract, and they did it like hustlers. They just honored their contract. Hustler just gonna make the most out of what they deal. They gonna push out as much as they can to get out of the deal. That's why Jay kept rushing through all those albums. He was like, man, another Jay-Z record? He just put out a record. If you listen to Volume 3 and the Dynasty album, they come out like back to back almost. While Volume 3 is still working, here comes the Dynasty album. It's like, huh? What's the Dynasty album doing here? Just like right after each other. Like Volume 3 came out like in November, around that time, or right before the year was about to close out of 1999. That was when Volume 3 hit. By the summertime, here comes Dynasty. It wasn't even 6 months later, here comes another Jay-Z album. So that's that. Yeah, I'm completely distracted right now. It's too much going on. So yeah, it was too much going on right here. Everybody getting ready to make their moves right now. So I'm getting hit up like crazy with these text messages. So I gotta get ready to roll. I wish we could have engaged in this a little more. I got 5 messages. All right. So don't forget, support the page. Click that link in the description box. You know, I got to roll. So Deuces.